What is going on? This is N64 Josh, and I've got some tips for Zelda Breath of the Wild. So there's going to be minor spoilers in this, of course, but there's nothing major, I promise you. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is to keep a Korok leaf, hopefully I said that right, in your inventory at all times. This thing is handy for moving around across lakes, down rivers, that kind of stuff. It will also help you in certain shrines where you have to be able to move certain objects that you can't move any other way, that I found anyway. So keep one of these things with you. I know it takes up a weapon slot, but it's worth it. Keep one with you. All right, the next thing I'm going to highly recommend you get is that armor right there. That armor will boost your stealth, and you can get it in Kokrika Village right here from this lady. There it is. So collect a bunch of stuff and sell it to her, and then buy that armor. This armor has helped me immensely. One, you'll see much later in this video, I sneak right up to a monster and hit him. He doesn't even recognize me. The other thing, when it comes to collecting bugs, fairies, lizards, that kind of stuff where you typically have to sneak, where you basically have to crouch, you don't have to do that. You do not have to crouch with this armor on. You can just run right up to it and pick it up. And it's very, very useful. You're going to see as I run around here a bit, here's me crouching, which is just slow. It takes a while. Even the beetles that are on trees, you can run right up to them with this gear on. You're going to see me run into a restless grasshopper right here. And typically those things just run away from you. But with this gear on, I run right up to it, pick it up. So if you're out collecting bugs, that kind of stuff, get this gear. Now, I'm at a fairy fountain. Look it, I can just pick up fairies by walking right up to them. Again, you would typically have to sneak up to those things in order to get them, like that. But you don't have to with this gear on. I just run around, collect a few things. The other thing is you want to get your armor upgraded from the fairies inside the fountain. They're going to want you to have some different items with you to be able to upgrade, so just collect stuff along the way. As you can see, I'm just running around, picking up whatever's around this area, because you never know when you're going to need it for health or for armor upgrades. So make sure just to collect as much as you can, as often as you can. You're not really limited, so it's a good idea just to be picking up stuff, you know, throughout the game. The next thing I want to talk about is cooking. Cooking is a very important part of this game, and the sooner you figure out how to make elixirs that can fight off the cold or the heat, it is going to help you out. So read the description of the ingredients, okay? In that one I used a bunch of like winter wing butterflies or something along the I can't remember their name exactly, but you'll see this ingredient helps with heat resistance or cold resistance. And you also want to make sure when you're making elixirs that you mix it with a monster part. It doesn't matter which one, it just needs to be a monster part of some kind. That is very important when it comes to the elixirs. And you're going to need these with you. You can have them that help your stamina. You can have them that bring health, of course, that make you faster, make you attack better, give you better defense. So read what the ingredients do, add 4 of them together and add a monster part, and you're going to end up with some really good elixirs. Now, the other thing is you want to collect spirit orbs. Now, you collect spirit orbs by doing shrines, and we're going to talk more about that in just a bit. But as you collect these things, you're going to alternate between hearts and stamina, or you can really do it however you want. Stamina is going to help you run longer, it's going to help you climb higher, and it's going to help you swim longer. It's stuff that you want. You do want to have a good amount of stamina, but you also want to have a good amount of hearts. So you can kind of alternate between the two. I did a couple of hearts and then some stamina and just kind of worked on it that way. But there's not like a right or wrong way. But I would say just do both of them somewhat evenly so that you keep building your stamina as you build your hearts. And again, some people may disagree with that. It's just my personal preference. I wanted to have a decent amount of stamina and a decent amount of hearts, so I went with both. Up until recently, where I've got almost 2 full staminas, now I've decided just to work on hearts for a bit, and then I'll go back to stamina. Again, do it how you'd like. So as you can see, I kind of have the map somewhat opened up here. I have every tower found, and then there's these shrines, and that shrine in particular is going to give you a very important piece of gear. That shrine right there is going to give you climbing gear. Now, Climbing gear helps you climb faster, and you can see it's got a little indicator by it looks like a little green mountain, right? Climbing speed increases. So I have the hat and I have the shirt. The shirt is from that shrine that you saw a second ago. That is a major test of strength, so it is very difficult to beat until you get used to the pattern. But once you do, every time you have to climb, just switch this gear and you will climb faster. And it has saved me numerous times. There's been areas I've been trying to explore, and if I had not had that extra little boost of speed, I would not have been able to get to the location, and I would have either fallen to my death or just been stuck in a place and had to teleport somewhere else. So climbing gear is important. If you can beat that major test of strength, go and do that, because it will definitely help you out. Now, let's look at these guys right here. These guys are all over the place, and as you can see, there's 5 statues there, and they've got plates in front of them. So I dropped an apple in the middle one, and this guy popped up. There was an apple on each of them. It was missing one. I just did the 5th one. Boom, he was there. You can look for rock formations that are like in a circle, and you have to add a rock that's missing. It's usually sitting around. Maybe you have to add 2 rocks. I jumped into a circle of lily pads, and one popped out of there. As you can see, look, there's sparkles running on the ground. Well, what is that? Chase it. You're going to hit the examine button when it gets close enough to you, and it kind of runs around in a pattern, and boom, there's another one. I've seen them in the ends of fallen trees, and they look like a little acorn. You just shoot them with an arrow, and it pops, and they're there. They've come out from random rocks that when I've been climbing, there's just one rock by itself. I pick it up. There's one there. They're all over the place. And what they do, those seeds they give you will help increase your weapon slots. So your bow, your arrow, and your shields. And as you can see, I snuck right up to this guy. He's trying to be sneaky with me. He doesn't even know I'm there because of that armor. But those seeds increase your weapon slots. So you'll turn those into some big fat looking dudes later on in the game, and you run into them just throughout. So the last thing I want to talk about here is the way I just parried that. And parrying is very important when it comes to your combat. And you hold ZL and then you hit A and you parry with your shield, and when you time it right, it will slow everything down. It knocked his weapon out of his hand, and I was able to just hit him with a flurry of attacks. Very important. You can also hit ZL and jump out of the way, and you can dodge to the left, to the right, and backwards. And if you pull it off correctly, it will slow time down, and you can hit them with just a fury of attacks, and it's very, very helpful. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with is I highly recommend opening up the entire map. Going looking for shrines, finding the towers, getting the map opened up so that you can fast travel wherever you want, whenever you want. You get lots of spirit orbs to get your hearts and stamina up. And I've spent over 20 hours just kind of exploring, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Again, that's just my personal preference. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, hit me with the like, hit me with the subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.